Hi, this is Holly Knight. I am a Songwriting Hall of Famer, and you're listening to Tom and Zeus on Shout It Out Loudcast.
Oh, boy. Here we go. This is Gene Simmons. Put that cookie down. Kiss. Stop pressing the buttons. Stockbroker Simmons. Star? Paul Stanley. Is that what he does? Stop shouting. He's not what you would call a handsome man. Oh, no. Here come the kiss times. Is that a positive thing? Okay. All right. I'm going to grab me an ice cold mellow yellow. Why do that to the fan? Stop it. Why? Because fuck them. That's what I'm talking about. 617-525-08. You do? Hey, fucko. Do you like Kiss? Settle down.
Hello. Hey, what's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. Episode 280, Kiss My Ass, Classic Kiss Regrooved. Are you happy now? Are you happy now?
This is episode 280. This is the first episode. Now, this is heart of Kiss World. This isn't some Kiss adjacent ancillary thing. I had to twist Zeus's arm to fucking do this episode. I couldn't believe it.
How long have you been asking? You'll throw it all the time. Hey, how about if we do Kiss My Ass? I'm like,
because I think it's gonna because I think it'll be a fucking blast. I can't wait to do this. And the fact that I know you already hate it is gonna make it even more fun. Kiss My Ass. What a fucking dumb name. So we'll get into that.
I'm a big fan of Toad The Wet Sprocket.
I love his work. I love his work. I love Toad the Wet Sprocket. We'll get into that.
Good Lord.
Well, you like the gin blossoms, so we'll get into that too.
I do. That's going to be a fucking...
Exactly.
Well, I like one album. Let's be blunt. I don't have anything else.
Well, that's kind of all they have, really. But
yeah, actually, when you think about it, I like 4 songs.
I love his work.
Yeah. Anyway, Tom, last week, we had the great Allison Hagendorf on. Mm-hmm. And she just came fresh off of interviewing Paul for the first interview since the end of the road. And we had a poll, but it was kind of hard to come up with something on this one. So we just fucking threw something together.
Yeah. Sometimes the topic of the week is tough to have a poll, but we said, what should Paul do next? More Soul Station, more painting, more Avatar discussion, or appear with us. Now, this is the funny thing. 74% of you said that Paul Stanley should be on us. For some reason, 11% of you want more Soul Station, and 8% of you both want more painting and more Avatar discussion. I'm not going to take that personally, because if you're that brain dead that you would rather have more painting than have Paul come on here, that's okay. We don't need you anyways. So that's my little love letter to all you people. Let's see what we got here for some comments. Our lovely Tally Faulkner, I actually had to retweet this one. People who choose more painting, are you okay? That's exactly correct. Exactly correct. Let's see here. Christopher Hamilton, it would be interesting to see if you could get Paul to laugh about something. He seems pretty intent on being humorless with his public persona. Yeah. Buck said 9% of the people click the first option before they read all 4. That's kind of funny. It's probably true. Let's see what we got for the episode itself. The episode was amazing. Our good buddy Tom Dust. Allison did a fantastic job hosting the proceedings at the Final Kiss show, and her recent interview with Paul was awesome too. Here, she shows that she makes for a great interviewee too. Great interview, TNZ, another SIOL Hall of Fame episode in the vault. Yeah, Tom Dust, love you, buddy. And we'll just end it there with Twitter because we do want to get into some classic Kiss Regrooved sooner than later, right, Zeus? Oh, yeah, Yoshiki.
Do I have to read the second part of this? Like,
yes.
Classic Regrooved. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Over on the Book of Face, Tom, we have Kevon Jepson.
Uh-oh.
Christ. Giggity, 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 giggity. Damn. Not only is she a smoke show, but she seems super humble and grateful, especially with Zeus slobbering all over the place.
Accurate.
I don't blame you at all. Love seeing the Shout It Out Loudcast networking just blow up. Another great one, man. Post a screenshot of your interview so we can see what you guys are seeing.
No.
So you can violate her some more? No.
That's on the new advanced Patreon tier that we'll share about later.
Yeah, Kevon, you got to go to the behind the scenes Patreon edition, buddy, to get to that. The great Brad Rustoven.
Yeah, Brad.
Renaissance man, and then 3 laughing emojis. Yeah, that became a big topic here.
Oh, that was awesome.
I don't know a lot about her, but obviously remember seeing her at MSG on December 2nd. She was so well-spoken, insightful, and made some amazing points on the episode. I would say she is the most intellectual guest who has ever been on Shout It Out Loudcast. Check that. The most intellectual voice to ever been heard on Shout It Out Loudcast. Love you guys.
Wow. Okay.
I will say, Tom, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I think that description would fit Steve Vai more than anybody we've ever had on this show.
Well, Steve Vai was probably the most cerebral, like just way too smarter than anybody.
Insightful and well-spoken of the description he used.
Exactly.
And intellectual, I would say that was Vi. He was.
Oh yeah, he was brilliant. He's a genius. There's a reason why,
And all with a wink and a smile when he was talking. Nothing condescending.
No. I mean, that being said, Allison was terrific. I mean, let's not say that. I mean,
that's not an insult to her. Believe me. Thomas Warhol said, awesome interview for Shout It Out Loudcast past episodes. What's our favorite school substitute teacher up to as late? Any updates on Mr. Feces?
What do you think? I don't think so.
Mr. Feces hit the Stonehill bathrooms again 30-something years later?
Third generation removed feces.
What's the update? Well, we've been tracking him down.
Yeah, really.
No update. And he wasn't a substitute teacher. He was my 8th grade English teacher. Or was it 7th grade? I think it was 8th grade. That was King. He was getting X-Acto knives, eggs, marbles thrown at his head.
Poor King.
Ducking out of school in his blue Dodge. Fucking everyone's hitting him with snowballs.
Poor guy.
Over on Loudcaster's page, Daniel Haller Houston. Great episode once again. I thought Allison did a great job getting Paul to talk about his relationship with his kids, especially giving brutal, honest advice to Evan's band. Also, I run like 30 miles a week, but good God, I am an amateur compared to her. I'm surprised she wasn't working out during the interview you did.
Good point.
Every time she talked or moved her arms, muscles would pop out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't feel bad. We're all amateurs compared to her.
Yeah. I'm not talking like Nicole Bass muscles. I'm talking about like Carrie Underwood, like fucking calf muscles. Like,
first of all, we're just going to pass over Nicole Bass. I have.
I'm 6'4". I weigh 225 pounds, and I have a vagina. I don't know what her description was. It was something like that.
Isn't she dead now?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
she sued Vince McMahon for like sexually harassing her. Dude, what are they fucking?
How shit-faced was Vince McMahon when that happened?
How much steroids are him and her doing when they work out together, the two of them? Hey, buddy, can you put another 100-pound plates over here? You got it, Vince.
Oh, my God. Nicole Bass.
And then all of a sudden, fucking,
oh, God.
What's his name's girlfriend who looks like Lou Ferrigno pulls in and does some squats with them. Yeah, Marty White's girlfriend, who's built like Lou Ferrigno.
And has an anger problem.
Lord. Russ Tozer. You guys had a cool chemistry as well with all your guests. You could tell she was really comfortable with you. Some nice little nuggets about the last show too. She came across as a super positive person. So she's never going to ask questions on her that might rock the boat, but she's likable and her energy is infectious. I guess we all have the various sides to us. The Paul we got in her interview is the one I like most. Most chilled, not so scripted and ego driven. Love your interviews, Teensy. Exactly, buddy.
Thank you.
Again, I don't think she got Paul to break down and tell us the secrets of Kiss, but she got stuff out of him that he normally doesn't do. And he was really relaxed. And he wasn't just throwing out the Paul-isms, the Star Child-isms, whatever the fucking we want to call it, to just make himself sound like smart. He was kind of blunt and he was self-deprecating, which he hasn't been in years.
Yeah, no, she did a great job. And like we said last week, that's the kind of interview that you're going to get. You're not going to get gotcha questions from Allison Hagendorf. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, so tone down the expectations when Paul does an interview, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Todd Kowalski. I like Zeus's little laugh when she called Paul a Renaissance man. You weren't alone on that.
Yeah, I commented on that. You should have seen our faces when she said that. Me and Zeus were like, oh boy.
Yeah, I know. The great Thanos Akratides, the Greek Thunder from Down Under. Fantastic and well-balanced episode. Allison Hagendorf was a pleasure to listen to, along with both Tom and Zeus. The show was fantastic. You worked well together, and I haven't seen and listened to her previous interviews with Richie Sambora and Motley Crue. I like the Richie one a lot. I thought her Paul Stanley one was excellent. She obviously very passionate about her music. It shines through in her delivery while she was interviewing. Not too dissimilar to you both. Also, let's just mention she absolutely drop dead gorgeous. Yeah, you can say that.
Yep.
Well done once again, and thank you for the kind words. That time we spent in New York will etch in my memory forever. One of the reasons is meeting both of you along with John. I think he's talking about Morty.
Poor Morty.
Tally and Gary and crew.
Yeah, it was a great weekend, brother. Love you.
Yeah, I think the only one missing out of that was Brad. Was Brad the only other one?
Brad was there for most of it, but I he wasn't there for all of it.
You know why I'm thinking Brad? Because that was the day we went to the physical graffiti house, and then we went out to dinner or lunch in the afternoon.
Yep.
But Thanos wasn't there for that.
No, he wasn't. Right.
Yeah, you gotcha.
Yep.
Denise Sorelli.
Oh no, she's wow.
Somebody pissed her off on some other podcast. I don't know what.
She's rough. She is rough.
You guys have become the go-to place for anything Kiss. How did you get her right after she interviewed Paul? It's called hard work.
Yeah.
Buddy.
Yes. Sister
Fista. She's a nun. I saw her. I'm not going to say that.
Don't do it. Don't read it.
Something podcast. Talk about her interview as their topic. Meanwhile, you got the person on your show. How deflating is that? You guys are on a whole other level. We love Denise.
Yeah.
Denise, you can compliment us without shitting on everybody else.
You're exact. You could say nice things to us and then just end it there. Thank you.
I'm telling you, she must have like called in or did something and someone's like, I don't agree with you. And fucking whatever. But she's always great to us. We'll take it.
It's like the Denise Sorelli revenge tour. And I don't mean Kiss revenge either. I mean, or Denise.
Paul Heider liked the fact that I said, Zeus, we're speaking to people out there. It's a very intimate thing that we have, a special relationship and bond. So I got that from the great Scott Galloway when he does his podcast and he talks about things. He always says, if you have loyal listeners that you have and you've had them for years, it is the most intimate thing when they listen to you and they put headphones on and
he's right.
Talking. It's a relationship, you and listeners. And
very true.
I completely agree. It's very different than anything else of social media.
That's right.
And I take that to heart. And so we appreciate all you guys that have been loyal with us. The ones that have gotten on the elevator at different floors, it doesn't matter, as Paul would say.
Yep.
Josh Brown, you guys always make your interviews sound like a conversation between friends, and you always hype the guest up to their face. Great interview, guys, as well. The Renaissance man, then I almost spit my drink out.
Yeah,
of course you're going to kiss ass to people and compliment them to their face. I mean, that's only a polite thing to do. Let's
To
go
their
over
face. So what is it? So when they go off air, we just fuck you.
Your face is our case.
Exactly.
Who told you to put the bomb on? I didn't tell you to put the bomb on. Maestro. What's the maestro?
Bob Cobb.
It's a problem for them. Jackie Childs. So on YouTube, we got Silver Ruse 3032. What a great interview. It's cool to hear Allison's story about Kiss in December of 23. She's a powerful woman. The interview with Paul is awesome. You can see that they are both so relaxed. Love that. Happy Mochorino BD8NO. Allison did a great interview with Paul. He wanted to talk. She made him talk. What Paul said about the guitar was so open and make him so likable. He said that surprisingly, there were times that he was too tough on it to himself and others. Paul was great. Yes, that is true. Paul did seem like he wanted to talk, and he was a little bit more open than normal.
Yeah, very much so. Credit to Allison for making that happen.
Yeah. And then we got Marty White. Where has this Paul been hiding? If you keep him away from his motorbike and gelato, he's okay.
Yeah, good point. Yep.
Tom, I'm giving it back to you, buddy.
All right, let's look at a couple things on Instagram and some emails. So Allison herself commented, "Thank you so much for having me. You guys are the best." That's all we need to hear for feedback on Instagram is when the guest chimes in and tells us how much fun they had. That's amazing. Then we got an email from Russell Hull kind of clarifying what was going on last week when we were talking about a particular podcast. That's all we'll say, Russell. Thanks for clarifying that. We got one here from our good friend and Shout It Out Loudcast Hall of Famer, Jim Riley. This was a blast. Allison was great at the final show and Paul's first interview after the end of the road tour. From Ringo Starr to Paul Stanley and now to Tom and Zeus with SIOL. Doesn't get bigger than that. You all acted like best friends. P.S. Bring back Adam and Eve. Wow. Okay. We won't ask why, but that's okay. Rick Hickey. Hey, guys, quite an honor to be comment of the week, so thank you for that. I meant every word of it. And then he chimes in with a future question of the week. And who knows if we'll get to that this week or when, but thank you, Rick, for that. And Damian McGinnis, he chimes in with some comments from the Gene Vault episode. And then he says, I am one of your listeners that is not on social media, and I just enjoy the show, want to support you, as your show is one thing I look forward to every week. Keep up the awesome job. I appreciate you both. Can't wait to see what is next, including your book. Yes, Damian, the book. It is coming along. It is badass. It is huge. It is amazing. It's awesome. And we are so close to the finish line, my friend. Trust us.
Yeah. So one of the things about the book is Tom is saying it is huge. We've packed it, packed it with content and photos and input. And you guys are, we're not skimming here. You guys are going to fucking love it.
Yeah,
we can't say
this
enough.
is going to be amazing. Yeah, this is going to be amazing. And we're hyping it up because it's worth this kind of hype. Trust us.
Yeah, we'd be the first ones on it. Believe me, if I saw this thing, I'd be fucking pre-ordering it the second I saw it. So,
yep.
We'll get into more details as we get to closer to the finish line, but we're close, very close.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tom, I'm going to go back to Loudcasters.
Mm-hmm.
And Joey, don't call me Ray Romano Romanek.
Oh, no.
One mark of a great interview is to see how they conduct an interview with another interviewer. And you guys knocked this out of the park. It must be pretty cool to have someone at her level tell you guys how talented you are. It's almost like she thinks you're pros. Ha ha. Did anyone else notice the great pains and that she went to acknowledge her Kiss fandom, but to also not classify herself as a Kiss tard, even though she didn't expressly use that word? We all knew what she meant. Anyways, gotta run. I'm meeting my stylist at Men's Warehouse to try on a new line of Johnny Cool Ball jeans. Christ. Joey, for always getting it and having a great sense of humor and being just a loyal listener and a good friend. This was funny, and we appreciate the kind words. So, Joey, once again, my friend, you are comment of the week.
Good answer. Good answer. I like the way you think. I'm going to be watching you.
Yeah, Joey, thanks, brother. We love you. We have so much fun back and forth, and it's always a great time. And as Zeus mentioned, the sense of humor is what we love here. We can have fun, but we really appreciate your loyal listener and support. So thanks, brother.
Yeah, one thing I got to add is he put up something recently. His better half did some sort of got some sort of a listing that his dumbass couldn't get because you're trying to probably, hey, if you buy this house, I'll throw in some 78 Kiss Donruss cards in for you. But apparently she did a big sale and she crushed it and got the signing. So congratulations to your wife, Tina.
Yes.
And off the record, we're being nice, so she'll let you continue to listen to us. So that's really
exactly.
It.
Exactly.
But great job. We love you guys both. You guys rock. So, and Tom, we like to go over and thank our Patreon family next. Patreon is where you can come and support the show. And in turn, you get some perks from us. And it became a project we started a couple years back and has become a huge part of why Shout It Out Loudcast has found the success that it has. Is because our Patreon family supports this show. And we can't thank you guys enough. We're into the 130s now for memberships.
Yep.
It has been larger than we can ever imagine. And guess what, guys? There's room to grow. So we're at our highest point that we've ever been. And just because you know how we are, we always like to change things up and try to make the show bigger and better. Constantly, every year, we want to keep growing. So we want to grow our Patreon family as well. So we've got a couple new perks coming down the pipe. And one of them will be, we're adding some Shout It Out Loudcast guitar picks with our logo.
Double-sided.
Yep. In addition, we're now going to have some Shout It Out Loud koozies.
Also double-sided, just like the T-shirt. The Shout It Out Loudcast logo on one side, and the back will say hottest podcast in the land with the logo. Just like you see on our shirts, it'll be the front and back of the guitar picks and the front and back of these awesome koozies.
And so how it's going to work is, as we've always been doing, everyone gets the stickers. So the Catman is the lowest tier. Everyone gets stickers. Then the second tier is the Spaceman. They'll be getting stickers and guitar picks. Then the third tier is the Star Child. They'll be getting the stickers, guitar pick, and also a koozie. And then always the top tier, Demon, has always gotten a T-shirt of their choice, most likely the Shout Out Loudcast T-shirt. And they'll be getting the koozie, and they'll be getting the guitar pick, and they'll be getting stickers. Plus, they're part of the Shout It Out Loudcast Patreon family. So never mind the merch, which we just want to give to you guys as a thank you. Again, we're at the highest point we've ever been. So we just want to continue to grow. We don't want to get worse and worse. We want to get better and better. And so in addition to that, you have the usual perks you get from being a Patreon member. You get the video chats for certain tiers. You get polls. You get Flashback Fridays. You get the ARC album review pick that you do, and we got that coming up in June. You get the March Madness involvement. You get the rest of the episode involvement that you can get involved with. And there's obviously the message board that we have with the Patreon members as well. Patreon has never been higher, and it will continue to get better and better. And that's because we want to thank you for supporting us. Look, the main goal is for Patreon is to build the community up and build the actual podcast. So the fact that you contribute to the show is so appreciated, and we want to give something back. And this is some of the new perks that we're going to have back. So if you join now, or if you're a member in those tiers now, and you were, and you are as of, this recording, we'll get those new products out when they come in. They should be in the next month or so. So when we get them, you guys will get them as well. So please join our Patreon family. And that is, you go to shoutitoutloudcast.com. Right on the landing page, you'll see Patreon. You click on that, and then you join whatever tier that you fits your needs financially and what you want to help us with. So please continue to support us. It's a big help, and we can't thank our Patreon family enough. So thank you, and come join the fun.
Yeah, we love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. It's amazing, the family that we've grown, the community that we've grown. And again, we just want to continue to give back to you with little perks. And we know who doesn't love a koozie, a guitar pick, whether you drink or play guitar or whatever, add it to your collection. We know you're a Kiss fan. You're a Shout Out Loudcast listener. So you're a collector. You're into all this stuff, and we are too. So it's just more fun things that you can have that we want to give back to you to continue to show our appreciation for everything you do. And remember, it's June. ARC is coming soon, and you guys were instrumental in picking that album. And, of course, there's more to come. So thank you again for everything that you guys do and continue to do for us.
Tom, what's going on in Kiss World?
Well, again, we're going to have to break it down individually. So our buddy Gene, I love that Gene is out there doing stuff. He joined a band called Chevy Metal on stage on Sunday, June 9th at the Canyon Club in Agora Hills, California. And he played Deuce. It was a charity event benefiting the Rock and Roll Rescue Dog Shelter and Adoption Service, which was benefiting the late Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins. His son Shane Hawkins was involved. And there's very few charities that are better than anything involving a dog. I'm a dog lover, so very cool to see that. They were a 2002 band, and Taylor Hawkins was part of it. So he joined them on stage for that, which was really cool. And we love Gene, and we love seeing him out there. I mean, everybody's begging for him to come and do something in the States for, kind of a little bit more time than he is doing overseas, which is cool. Paul took a cool picture with Joe Elliott and Phil Collin at Def Leppard, which was cool, thanking them for all the fun that they had when they toured. He said, I'll be seeing them on their upcoming co-headlining stadium tour with Journey. Yes, guess what, Paul? So will I. I'm going to see them at Fenway Park in August. So that'll be cool. And then, so our buddy Paul, because he's a man of the people, takes a picture of the drinks at his table for his wife Erin's birthday. And of course, it was at a restaurant in Beverly Hills where everybody goes, regularly. So whatever, that's Paul. Everybody else kind of quiet. The band is quiet. Our buddy Bruce came back from Finland. We did mention that. He posted a couple things for that, which was cool. It was a Finland trip wrap up. Always cool to see that. Tommy's been quiet. Eric's been quiet. The band itself's been quiet. So, this is Kiss World moving forward. Not too much going on.
Yeah, I believe Bruce is coming our way at the end of the month, Tom.
That's right.
Event.
Yep.
And he has some event where you can go out to dinner with him and Lisa.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah,
It's a Comic-Con type event. I think it's called like Super Mega Fest or something. And it's a Comic-Con type event where they have like pop culture and TV and music and people like that. So Bruce will be there. It's at the end of the month. We hope to make it there and see him, which would be great. So I don't know if we'll be splitting a pizza with Bruce and Lisa. Who knows? I don't know, but that's cool. We love to see them anyways. They're great people. So
pizza. What a treat.
What a treat. Hey guys, steak. Gotta love it.
Medium rare. Best way to have it.
Yeah. So that's it for Kiss.
Yeah. Tom, let's take a quick little break. And as we take a quick little break, Ace says, Hey, Bruce, I could use a meal or two myself. Can I get invited to this dinner as well?
So we're back, and you know what? It's a good thing that you brought up Ace, because he was getting a little upset because for the first time in a long time, we really didn't bring up Ace in this episode. So you kind of appeased him a little bit there by doing a little bit of some Ace talk there, because he misses us. He misses us.
Yeah, he just I saw that he just put up today. It's today he put up a reel of that video.
Yep, again.
Of him writing over it. But you notice how he cut out the cackler in the background?
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
She's not in that video anymore.
Nope.
He cut her out.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Still, why do you put it up again? For those that didn't see you being obnoxious, just to make sure they see it?
I know. I don't know.
Just stupid. Whoever's advising him to do this stuff is so delusional.
I agree.
Anyway, Tom, you've been wanting to do this fucking album since before we even thought of a podcast. I think at Stonehill you wanted to talk about this album.
I'm shocked at your hesitancy here because it's all 90s bands and it's Kiss songs.
It's all like Murph bands. They're not my bands.
Exactly, which is fun. We'll get into it. Go ahead.
Fucking Yoshiki and fucking Toad The Wet Sprocket.
I love his work.
Oh, Dinosaur Jr. Oh.
I like Dinosaur Jr. Don't forget about Shandy's Addiction, the supergroup that we're going to break down and talk about.
God damn it. All right, Tom. The year is 1994. We're still, this is June 94. It's almost 30 years to the day.
Which is exactly why we're doing it right now. Happy birthday, Kiss My Ass, Classic Kiss Regrooved.
You have to do that full title.
Yes, I do.
What the fuck? Anyway, I remember when this thing came out. Why don't you tell us about your memories?
Okay, so 1994 was a pretty cool time to be a Kiss fan because we were in college. Okay, we were still in college when this came out. So Revenge had come out. Kiss Talk was like percolating. They were kind of like back to semi-relevancy. There was an accompanying VHS of Kiss My Ass that we'll talk about in a future episode where it kind of breaks down some behind the scenes stuff. They were also promoting that big history book and all that stuff. So it was kind of a cool time for Kiss. And of course, at this time in the 90s, it was a great time for music. Not only with the bands that we loved, but it was the era of soundtracks, compilations, tribute albums,
Yes.
tons of stuff that you couldn't escape. So for Kiss to do something like this was amazing. And I remember when it came out and I was blown away. And I still have it, the original from 1994, the gatefold LP with a red vinyl in it. And I remember at the time, like, why are they selling this on vinyl? I don't know. I can't believe I still have the original. And I was just blown away by it. I thought it was really fun. It was bands of the time, relevant bands that we were listening to, maybe some more than others. And I just thought it was really cool to have it and that Kiss was kind of trying to immerse themselves into some modern era, bands in a different audience. I just thought it was really cool.
So I got this as soon as it came out, just like you. And yeah, I agree. I thought it was fun that this modern era of musicians were paying tribute to Kiss.
Yeah.
Because by this point in 94, like I said previously, all my hair metal CDs were kind of hitting in my dorm room, right?
Yep.
Put those on the back end. I'm not going to have those being displayed. Did you see my new Alice in Chains CD?
Exactly. Yep.
Right. So to see Kiss get this kind of treatment was pretty cool. And by this point, in addition, I had already become a huge country music. I loved 90s country. Right. And Garth Brooks was the be all end all for not just country, all music. He was outselling everybody. As big as grunge and everything else was, he was killing it. And to have Garth Brooks, an artist that I really loved and huge, the biggest musician of that era, doing a Kiss song, liking my band.
Yep.
And then I remember seeing him live with Kiss do this on the Tonight Show, because I think I was the only one that was the Jay Leno fan, the Tonight Show. You guys all like Letterman. And I like Leno because he did more political stuff. And plus, I always liked I never understood this. I like the Italian from Boston. Why the fuck the rest of you guys didn't agree with me?
I just like Letterman's dry, stupid sense of humor. Yeah. I mean, I like Leno too, but if I was I was a Letterman.
Regardless.
Yeah, of course.
And the Tonight Show had won the Tonight, like those late night battles.
That's right.
And we got Kiss on there, and we got Garth Brooks together. So there was hype around Kiss. about this album. So yeah, I was interested in it, and I'm glad I purchased it. It's just very different. So,
well, that leads me to my next kind of segue before we get into some more of this. In terms of a tribute album, like what are you looking for when you listen to a tribute album? Do you want to hear like cookie cutter, like karaoke style, or do you want to hear a band take a song and flip it on its head and say, holy shit, this is really cool. I never expected a Kiss song could do this, because that's why I love this album, because there are some bands on here that I like, but there are some versions of songs here that I think are like really, really unique and just interesting to listen to. Maybe I don't love them, but they're not boring. There's some boring stuff on here we'll talk about, but that's why I think this is unique. And it reminds me kind of like when we bought Encomium, the Led Zeppelin tribute album, with kind of the same thing, had Stone Temple Pilots and some modern bands. And they kind of took some songs and kind of, flipped them on its head. And I thought that was really unique as well.
I like what they did here.
Yeah.
You had some very true to the original.
Yep.
You had some way out in left field.
Yep.
And you had a little mixture of both.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that. I don't want 12 fucking tracks. Well, 11 here, 12 on the German version. We'll talk about that later. I don't want 12 tracks of songs that don't sound anything like the songs that I know, don't have the same melody, don't have like this isn't Kiss album. This is just fucking stupid. Right. So I
also don't want
something.
Yeah, and I also don't want 12 songs of just karaoke note for note covers. So this album, I think, checks off all those boxes, I think, for both of us.
Yep. So, Tom, what we usually do when we go over an album, the next part is the album cover.
Yeah, super eye-catching. Of course, a lot of times everybody talks about the fact that there's no Ace makeup. At the time, there was some issues with the rights to his makeup at the time. They weren't cleared in time for the release of this, so they included kind of like a bastardized version of the Paul Stanley Bandit at the little kid sitting at the table. I think the choice of the style of the cover is just kind of odd, like a family kind of praying at a dinner table with, and it's kind of weird.
Like the I Love It Loud video.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess, which is funny because there's nothing from I Love It Loud on this album, but that's okay.
I want to bring up.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the big American flag behind him.
Yeah.
It's also during the Gulf War kind of patriotic renaissance that was going on at the time.
Yeah. And it's also cool too, because depending on where you bought this, the country's flag was changed. So they had they had a Canadian flag, a Japanese flag, an Australian flag. So I thought that was kind of cool too. But the big thing, if you look at this a little bit more, nowhere on this album, and we'll talk about the gatefold and all that stuff in a second, nowhere is the Kiss logo. How is that possible?
Yeah,
the Kiss logo is nowhere on this at all.
On the cover, Kiss is written 3 times.
Yep.
And none of them are with the Kiss font.
I don't understand that. I think that's a huge misfire, and it's confusing to me why they would do that. I don't get that at all. And then the gatefold, of course, you got the lyrics, and then you got pictures of fat, disgusting Kiss tards with their tattoos. And some of these tattoos are great. Some of them look like they were made in prison. So yeah, and then you got like an order form here for the history book. So it's cool. I guess it's cool. Whatever.
Yeah, I think it's okay. It reminds me of the I Love It Loud video.
Yeah,
where they're at the table doing their thing, and then we also have the Kiss Thanksgiving photo meme that goes around every Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah,
with Gene and the turkey and stuff like that. So those are the reoccurring themes that I think of when I see this. But it's okay. It's not bad.
Yeah. How come the son is the only one with a drink?
I don't know.
That's because I wouldn't give him his makeup, but I gave him a glass of milk instead to make him feel better.
It's a glass of cold gin. Stupid. Anyway, Tom, they picked random artists from the 90s that were big artists at the time. So before we get into the individual tracks, any artists that you would have loved to see do something here?
I'm glad you asked that question because I was a little bummed that there's no grunge on here. Now, Dinosaur Jr. is like real deep in the woods kind of grunge, but that's not what we were listening to. I did hear a rumor at the time, and I don't know if this is true. I couldn't find anything that Stone Temple Pilots was supposed to be involved in this. I don't know how true that is. But I was really upset that there was none of the big four, and Nirvana was actually on a really, really old, obscure Kiss tribute album called Hard to Believe, and they did a ridiculous version of, I think, Do You Love Me or Come On and Love Me. It's beyond silly. So that's the one thing I was surprised. No grunge bands on this.
Yeah, because they would all, that's the one thing. The grunge bands, although there was the tension between them and the hair metal stuff, they all liked Kiss.
Exactly.
All of them.
Which is surprising.
So hearing like a Soundgarden doing their version of She maybe or something like that, would have worked pretty well. Or Watching You or something like that. Something heavy. Alice in Chains would have fucking been great.
Oh my God!
Something like a Firehouse or something,
or Alice in Chains doing like Strange Ways or something like that. You know what I mean? Like something,
STP doing something, Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Those are artists that I would have loved to see them, jump in here as well. For this era. But they got some big names from the era, and let's go to the first track, and that is this.
So we start off with a really cool version of Deuce by Lenny Kravitz, with some killer harmonica by the great Stevie Wonder. Now, I love Lenny Kravitz. I don't really like him like today. I kind of drifted off with him, but I look back, some of his music is good. I like his voice. The tone of his voice on this song is kind of interesting. But this is what I was talking about earlier. They took a classic and they added a little bit of groove, a little bit of funk to it. I really like the way it moves. I love the harmonica. I just think it's a really, really cool version of the song. And right off the bat, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a cool album for me. And I love Deuce. So I thought this was a really cool version.
Deuce by Lenny Kravitz with Stevie Wonder on the harmonica. This one went up to number 11 on mainstream rock tracks.
Yep.
Lenny Kravitz, honestly, the only song I really like from him, and It Ain't Over Till It's Over.
Yeah. Good song.
Oh, yeah. I love that. So many tears I cried.
Wow.
Wicked little Michael Jackson-ish little voice. And then he comes in. He comes in with a Joycey vocal afterwards on the second verse. I just love that. He's all over the place. But, he's still like fucking everybody's like coolest dad or granddad, fucking his 50s with his, attire and stuff. He's still super cool.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good funky version. The harmonica. I mean, there's it's a laid back, like cool, hey, Lenny Kravitz, man.
Yeah.
Version. And the harmonica is like a harmonica solo, not a guitar solo. And it sounds like a little piccolo was going on in there. I don't know what the fuck else was there. A little synth solo as well. Yep. He ends a lot with a yeah. Throughout the fucking outro is so going on and on.
Yeah, the outro is a little too long.
Yeah. And then of course you got who does your hair? Do you do what do you say on Saturday Night Live? Do you do your own hair? No, they got no excuses. When Frank Sinatra and Stevie Wonder
they got no excuses. Yeah. Poor Stevie Wonder.
Leave Stevie alone.
Stevie Wonder's a musical genius.
Yeah. Anyway, I think it's a pretty decent track. Again, this one is like almost right down the middle, a little to the original, but a little bit different. The melody's still kind of there. It's just slowed down a little bit, made a little more funky.
Yep.
It's a cool version, something different. So I'll take it.
Okay.
Next track.
Hard Luck Woman by Garth Brooks. Now, on its surface, this is a perfect match because it's an acoustic-based song. It's kind of got a little bit of a southern feel to it, of course, Peter Criss. Garth Brooks, world superstar. But this is exactly what I was talking about before we started doing the tracks. To me, this is just this is like when you go to like a bar on a Saturday night and there's a cover band playing hits. This does nothing for me. It's not that it's bad. It's just super vanilla for me. There's nothing here. It's note for note. And the thing that I really don't like about it is that it's the band playing with Garth Brooks. Like I would have liked to have seen like him and his band, or maybe him just with a guitar or something, but it's Kiss with Garth Brooks. And I just think this is just a paint by number cover of it.
Hard Luck Woman, Garth Brooks. This made it to number 28 on Adult Contemporary, number 67 Hot Country Singles, and number 26 Top 40 Mainstream. The fact that Kiss played, you're right, made it so right down the middle safe.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense, I like the Peter version. He sings a good job, does a great job. Yeah. Tim McGraw sings Tiny Dancers on one of his albums.
Yeah.
He does a great job of it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the fucking Elton John version. It's just not Elton John singing it.
Yeah.
He didn't make a country tinged version of it.
Yeah, there's
and
nothing
Garth
to this.
didn't make this country because Kiss is playing on it. If he put a little country arrangement on it or changed it up a little bit, I would see that. Yeah. You know?
And I also think too, I think the pitch that Garth is singing in, it's because obviously we love Peter, the raspy voice. Like Garth is like up here singing the song, and I don't know. I mean, I don't mind Garth. I mean, I'm not a fan like you are, but I just think this falls flat for me, this version.
It's just a good version of the song. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have Peter's raspiness behind this, which is the whole point of why Paul wanted Rod Stewart to originally sing the song. He does a good job. It's just, but they probably like, hey, Garth Brooks is a fan of Kiss. We can get him to do a song on this album. What's in his wheelhouse? Like, what can he do? Right. Or give him one of the ballads or something. Like, right? And they probably thought of this, that it would make sense, but they made it too easy for him. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
I don't know. Yeah. All right. Next track.
She being done by Anthrax. This version fucking just rips. I mean, this is a perfect song for a band like Anthrax. They just turn up the guitars, turn up the distortion, turn up the noise, make it super fucking heavy. I mean, this was already a heavy Kiss song for 1975. So this is a perfect blend right here for them. And it's amazing. And again, just to touch on it briefly, we will eventually do the video review, but in the VHS or the DVD, whatever you have of the Kiss My Ass video, there's behind the scenes here of the band working with Anthrax. It's really cool. I think this version kicks ass. And I love how they add that, that little outro solo part with it, where it flips on its head and they kind of speed it up and do the solo like you hear like on a live. I think this is great because, like you said, it's kind of down the middle. They don't really do anything different. They just take a song and make it into an Anthrax song, and I think this is perfectly done.
Yeah, so this is She from Anthrax. So this is John Bush instead of Joey Belladonna, right?
Thank God for that.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, I think the band kills it, especially Charlie on this song.
Oh, yeah.
I think they're super tight. It's heavy. And this fits that niche. It's like they're doing it, but they Anthraxed the song up a little bit. Heavier. It's true to the original, but it's heavier. It's got that Anthrax guitar sound to it and drums. So you could tell it's not Kiss. So to me, I think this is a good job by them. I like it. And I think Bush has a much deeper voice to make this song work.
Yeah. Joey Belladonna this wouldn't have worked with him. No.
And they got he did my favorite Anthrax song of all time. Only.
Great song. Great album.
All right, Tom, let's call Murph up and do the next song.
Christine 16 as done by the Gin Blossoms. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Gin Blossoms. I like New Miserable Experience, has some good songs on it. They're like a kind of like little jangly pop kind of like bar band. They're good. They're good. This song is just this is just a little too light in the ass for me with a song like Christine 16. It's just, This is what I was talking about, kind of like a note for note bar band cover. They didn't try to do anything different at all. They gin blossomed it up, which in my opinion means they kind of neutered it a little bit, because Gin Blossoms isn't going to make anything heavier than an original. Not that Christine 16 is heavy, but it is off of Love Gun. It is Gene Simmons. It's got Ace and all that stuff. This is pretty weak for me. I'm not a big fan of this one. And it's not really because I don't like the Gin Blossoms. I just think they were a bad match for this particular song.
Gin Blossoms, Christine 16. This is another one I put just very true to the original.
Yeah.
He loves to do the Gene talking part of the song. He reiterates it a few times.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't usually say things to this like the girls your age. They keep putting that reoccurring throughout the song.
Yeah.
I actually like that part. And then at one point at the end, he says, well, sometimes.
Yeah, I like that, trying to cover his ass. Yep.
Yeah. And the outro is just different with that line being repeated and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't mind this. I think the guy does a good job singing it. And you're right. It's like being at a bar, hanging out, listening to a band do tunes, eating your wings and drinking beers and watching a basketball game on TV or a hockey game. And all of a sudden you hear them do Christine 16. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of pleasantly surprised. I'm not looking to them to do a better Kiss version than Kiss, but I think it's all right. I don't have a problem with it. And, and for the record, Tom, I found out about you is on the Mount Rushmore 90s, song, for me.
That's my favorite Gin Blossom song.
It's on for me, the Mount Rushmore of songs from the 90s.
Excellent. Wow. That's a big call. That's a call.
Fucking one of my favorite songs.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
The lyrics and just the vocals.
That's a good album. I mean, at the time I gave it shit because I thought it was a little wimpy, because at the time we were listening to a lot of grunge shit. And of course I always like to get a shot in with my buddy Murph, of course, because he likes them, but that's a good album.
Last summer, in case you don't recall, I was yours and you were mine.
Yeah. It's a good song.
Fucking Whispers at the Bus Stop. Dude, how old are you?
How old are you right now?
Yeah. How old are you? There's rumors about your relationship at a bus stop.
You're either going after kids at school, or you have no license and you're taking public transportation.
You are one broke ass shit, motherfucker.
Exactly.
And nobody's whispering about anybody cool about their rumors at a bus stop.
No, they're whispering about your fucked up version of Christine 16 that you just did.
Whispers at the bus stop. I heard about the school. Oh yeah, and then at the schoolyard too.
In the schoolyard. Yeah, that's right. How old are you? Jesus, maybe this guy was Christine 16.
Oh man. Oh, that's it. Somebody pick Gin Blossoms again for fucking Patreon pick.
Yeah, do it. I'll do it.
All right. Next track.
All right, here's the one the touchstone for this album when people talk about it. Rock and Roll All Night, as done by Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Can you just say something about the fucking title of that band?
Toad the Wet Sprocket.
Yeah. Can you enlighten our listeners about the fucking how horrendous that band name is?
No.
Okay.
No, because it comes from a Monty Python thing. It's Monty Python related where the band name comes from. That being said, is another band that as I got a little bit older, I love this band. I'm not gonna lie. I've seen them in concert. I've seen them in concert once. I saw them open for a band once, and I've seen them stand alone once. I love these guys. They were another band in college. I was like, who the fuck is this stupid band? Because at the time we're all listening to. Yeah, because at the time we're still listening to like Metallica, Kiss, and then grunge takes. So I'm like, this is friggin' wimpy shit. Now, I'm going to say this right now. I absolutely, without a hint of irony or anything, I fucking love this version. I've loved it since the first time I bought this album. This is exactly, maybe this is a little bit way too left of center for people when it comes to a covers tribute album. But I love it. They turn it almost into like a fireside, like sad song. I think it's an amazing job, and I give them credit because if you're Toad the Wet Sprocket, you're like, we're not a band that can interpret Kiss songs very well. What are we going to do here? Okay, let's take their most famous song and just strip it down and make it a Toad the Wet Sprocket song. And I love it. I think it's great. I love the chorus. And I remember the first time I heard him, like, what is going on right now? And then as soon as he says, you show us everything you got, I'm hooked. I'm in. I love it. Go ahead. It's okay. Go ahead.
I'm just like, okay.
Go ahead.
So it's definitely the most original version. And what I wrote down is like,
go ahead.
This is the Ethan Hawke main character fucking stupid reality bites fucking hipster doofus singing this at a coffee shop part in the movie.
That's exactly right.
It's not bad. I don't mind it. You lose the melody. It's a whole new different melody.
Yes.
It's okay. I'll give them kudos for going out on a limb. I don't mind it. It's okay to have the real version and to listen to this version. You can do both. It's all right. I like this. I don't have a problem with it at all. I just Toad the Wet Sprocket. It's just fucking.
I mean, it's a stupid. I mean, I'm not a Monty Python fan. I don't know the actual origins of it, but that's what it is. It's a stupid name.
No, but just the other music that they do, I just don't like. It's just but they do a decent job.
They have a lot of good songs. I mean, they're a really good band. I mean, that's it. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Let's go to the supergroup.
So we got Calling Dr. Love as done by Shandy's Addiction. First of all, kudos to taking Jane's Addiction and turning it into Shandy's Addiction with Zeus's favorite song of all. I think that, first of all, I think that's
stupid.
I think that's a stroke of brilliance. But you got the band made up of Maynard James Keenan on vocals from Tool, Tom Morello from Rage doing the guitar, bassist Billy Gould from Faith No More, and drummer Brad Wilk also from Rage Against the Machine doing this. Now, I love Rage. I'm okay with Faith No More, and I'm kind of with Tool. I fucking think this version crushes. I love it. This is another version where they take a song that I love. Calling Dr. Love is one of my favorites, and they Rage Against the Machine it. They Tool it. It's kind of a mess, especially the kind of the breakdown part. But I love how the intro, and you get Tom Morello doing like that wah, and then it's like da, da, da. And once it kicks into the groove, you're like, what the hell is this? This doesn't even sound like Calling Dr. Love. Then it gets into the chorus. I think Maynard sounds awesome. There's a breakdown in the middle. Now, again, you're probably going to have to be a fan of these bands to like this interpretation of the song. And if you don't, I get it. But to me, fucking love it. I think it crushes.
Calling Dr. Love by Shandy's Addiction. This is the strangest thing on this album.
Yeah.
I could tell it's fucking Morello before I even knew what Shane's Addiction was. That guitar,
exactly.
the noises he was making, I could tell it. Yep. And then the whole megaphone talking throughout the whole song, that vocals in the background. Yeah, this is not a good song. This is
I knew you were going to hate this.
Terrible. They took a good, fun, melodic, catchy song.
I love it.
And I think you said it right. I think they fucking took the worst aspect of Tool, Faith No More, and fucking Rage and gave us the worst of those three bands and go,
come
just
on.
Brutal version. This
okay,
is
fair
terrible.
enough. All right, fair enough.
Terrible.
I can't.
All right.
I love that we're reviewing this album right now. This is great.
Yep. Next track.
Going Blind as done by Dinosaur Jr. Now, first off, Dinosaur Jr., couple good songs, not a big fan, not a huge fan of his voice, but it fits this song because this is kind of like a slow, droney, kind of whiny song to begin with. So I think he does a good job of it. I think the production sounds great on this. And if you know anything about Dinosaur Jr., this is kind of what they do. This sounds like this could have been a song of their own and not a cover. So I think this is a pretty faithful interpretation of the song. As we said before, I don't think it's too far off the main road there of what Going Blind is. They do just enough to give it a little bit of their own feel, which I think is good. But the problem here is that I already don't like Going Blind that much, and I'm not a huge fan of Dinosaur Jr., so this one is kind of a little bit for me.
All right. So Dinosaur Jr. is Going Blind. Didn't they come to Stonehill Spring Weekend?
They did. Yes.
I'm glad I missed it.
As did another band on this list. That's right. Yep.
Glad I missed it.
Yeah.
The drums are pretty good on this track. I'll give him that.
Yes.
The singer sounds like he's fucking half asleep.
That's him. That's what they see. Sounds like that in every song.
Oh,
Yeah.
going blind.
That's
going blind.
Yep.
All right. It's a kind of color by numbers version of this song.
It is.
It's not bad. I'll be honest with you. It's probably right down the middle between generic follow paint by numbers and just because you really can't tell any real difference. This is a bar band doing this song, except for the singer. It just sounds like he's half dead. Half dead motherfucker. You know, Jehovah's bang. Well, fuck you. Half dead. You, motherfucker. Honesta.
I love her.
Oh, she's the best. Fred Sanford and Honesta. Are you kidding me? Yep. Greatest. All right. This is going to be fun. Next track.
Strutter, as done by Extreme. Okay. Now, I read a couple reviews, and this was one of the songs that, for me, surprisingly took a fucking beating on. And I like it. I mean, I'm not a huge Extreme fan, but again, you're taking a classic, you're funking it up the way Extreme does with their music. You're giving it a little bit of something kind of cool. You're adding a little bit of things here and there. You know, I think it's cool when Gary Shorn is like, give me some thunder, and all of a sudden they start doing God of Thunder, and then they start throwing Shout It Out Loud in there, and then at the end he does like the little da-da-da-da, the beginning of Love Gun. It's a weird little mishmash mess. But I don't mind it. It's different. As I already said, I don't want to hear a rote karaoke version of these songs. I want to hear a band put their flavor and their spin on it. And I think Extreme does a really good job here with that for me.
All right. Strutter, Extreme. There's a bunch of little Easter eggs here.
Yeah.
At that part that you talked about, he says, give me some thunder. And so in that middle section, all of a sudden you get the riff to God of Thunder for a little bit. Yep. And then when he says on the second time he goes to, but when she walks, she'll pass you by. He does the Heaven's on Fire. Woo, 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 woo.
Yep. Which is awesome.
Right. At one point, Shout It Out Loudcast is sung in the background is by the band. And at the end, Sharon sings a little bit of Love Gun. And then Nuno plays the couple notes of Detroit Rock City.
Yep.
Extreme is the most fucking overrated band on all these fucking podcasts. I don't know. I'm sorry. More Than Words and fucking, what's that other stupid song with Cam Neely in the video?
Wholehearted.
Mother,
I don't want to go to school today.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, they're the most overrated band. Some people just fucking love them.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't think they're bad. I don't think Sharon's got a bad voice. I don't think Nuno Betancourt is a bad guitarist. I just haven't heard a great song from them. And this is a fucking just too much. You're trying to do too much in this song. Way too much. Well, it's choppy. And plus they're not this. They're also, I'll give them credit for trying to make it a little different. It's also not the best song to cover. It's to me, just, you know,
that's fair. No, you're right. They try to jam too many friggin' little Easter eggs, like you said in here. Just stick to the fucking song.
Yeah. All right, Tom. Next track.
Plaster Caster, as done by the Lemonheads. Now, we both love Plaster Caster. I don't know where you stand on the Lemonheads. I like them. I think they got a lot of cool pop songs.
Oh, I think of Macca. Oh,
Macca.
He had that Lemonhead CD. Would play it all the time.
Oh, wow. Okay. There's a connection I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I remember they had one decent song like Into Your Arms.
Into Your Arms. Great song.
And they did a stupid version of Mrs. Robinson. Just, and the lead singer is a fucking goof. Big goof. Evan, whatever the fuck his name is.
Evan Dando.
He can go fuck himself, goon.
Wow. apparently Zeus is much more passionate about this than I thought, which is why I'm so glad we're finally getting around to reviewing it.
Okay, Lemonheads. The best thing about the band is the candy. Love Lemonheads.
Dear God, what is wrong? When did you turn into a fucking 90-year-old man?
I also like Alexander the Grape, the Cherry Chans, and what was the other one? There was
Cherry Chan? That's racially insensitive.
Well, they had to change the name, but they were called Cherry Chan. There was Alexander the Grape.
How about Boston Baked Beans? Remember those?
Yes.
Those are great.
Yeah, what are the other ones? You can't find them. I was trying to find them, but I like Lemonheads.
Yeah, you have to get those at like a Nana candy store.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you know where you get them? You can get them at what's that old timey place there? What's that fucking place? The old timey place.
The old timey place?
Yeah.
What the fuck? The Five and Dime? I don't know what the fuck.
No, that restaurant. What's the fucking place? They have breakfast and pancakes, and you can eat all day.
What, the Cracker Barrel restaurant?
yes, the Cracker Barrel. That's it. They have the little candy section.
The gift shop. They have a gift shop.
Yeah, they have
there.
the old like candy. You're like, dude, is this really from the 70s or is this the new version?
It's probably from the 40s.
You can get like fucking like cigarette smoke, fake candy cigarettes again.
Yeah,
and shit like all that old style candies.
Well, save that thought because that could be a future Dorm Damage. Top 10 old-timey Cracker Barrel gifts.
Old-timey.
Anyways, back to the song. Look, I like the Lemonheads. I think Evan Dando's voice, he's not impersonating Gene here. This is his voice. So I think this song works for him. And the thing about the Lemonheads is they're that alternative pop band, but they do have a little bit of kind of like messy, disorganized style to them. So kind of when it gets to the chorus, it's like a gang vocal. I like this because it's the Lemonheads, but they don't go too crazy. And I like Plaster Caster. So I don't know. I really like this version, but I'm a fan of the Lemonheads to begin with. I think this is kind of a cool translation of the song.
He's like the broke down version of that fucking other goof from the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh, Johnny Resnick?
Yeah, that's him.
Evan Dando is like the wicked, like, 90s, like,
he's the dime store version of that guy.
Yeah.
He's just not as good looking at him, but they're fucking both the same.
But Johnny Resnick looks like a woman right now. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but.
I'm alternative. Oh, okay.
I'm all sensitive and. Yeah. Just very uptight.
Okay, Lemonheads.
Now make a plaster cast of my cock, right?
They're just an annoying band, but this is very true to the original. And this works because I love the original song. Yeah. Love the original song. You know what was good about this? I was trying to listen to this when I was driving my kid to school, listen to tracks. I've already heard this a million times, this album. Yeah. You know what I did? Halfway through this, I turned it off and listened to the original Caster the whole way home. I switched from the unplugged version to the Love Gun version back and forth.
Yep.
And then
song.
Just the unplugged version when he goes, I
love it. Oh, that's so good when he introduces the solo. Yes, it's awesome.
Solo on Rock and Roll Night. When he
love it.
Loves it. He screams that out. Oh.
Yep.
All right, 2 more tracks to go. Here's another band of yours.
Detroit Rock City as...
I'm sorry. That sound like another banner year at the old Bender family. It sounded like he just said another banner year at the old Bender family. Hey, smoke up, Johnny. Here you go. Let's see, this is what happens when you spill paint in the garage, Tom.
Do I stutter?
That is the great line. No. Did I stutter? Awesome. All right. I'm sorry. Breakfast Club interruption over. Go ahead.
Detroit Rock City as done by the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. Yes, I like the Mighty Mighty Bosstones. I didn't get into them until kind of like after college no one really listened to them, but Don't Know How to Party is one of the great 90s albums that no one will ever listen to, and I could never play it. I could never pick it on ARC because it would be the end of the show, but I like them. They came to Stonehill. I was probably the only person excited. Ska music is stupid. It's freaking it's really dumb, but I like it. Dickie Barrett's voice is ridiculous, but I like it. And I think this version is fucking kick ass. I love it. The band sounds great because Bosstones can be hard when they need to be. I love the horns. I think it's really cool how the guitar solo is actually done by a saxophone. I think that's pretty wild. But the funniest part of this whole thing is they do the beginning of Detroit Rock City with the car, starting the car, putting on the radio. But instead of the radio, it's a voicemail from Gene Simmons telling Dickie Barrett that Ugly Kid Joe is going to do Detroit Rock City. And that we were thinking it might be Megadeth too. So you need to pick another song. And then as soon as Gene says that, boom, it goes right into Detroit Rock City. I fucking love this version. It kicks ass. I get it if you don't like the Bosstones, if you don't like Dickie Barrett's voice, I get it. But I think this is really cool. This is actually released as a single.
Yeah, it's certainly charted.
Yeah?
Not.
How dare you? Oh, sorry, Martina McBride didn't cover Beth on this album.
Oh, Martina McBride in the 90s. Anyway, couple things here right off the top. First of all, isn't this the band that has like that comedian Kevin Meaney, whatever his name is in the band? It looks like him.
He looks like him. All the guy does is stand next to Dickie Barrett and dance. That's it.
That's not the guy. Oh, that's not the guy singing.
No, Dickie Barrett's the singer.
So I don't remember any Mighty Mighty Bosstones songs. I thought they didn't have a Cookie Monster vocals.
Not for every song they don't. No,
okay.
Not for every.
So that's why I thought it was the other guy that was singing, the fucking bouncing around. The white Flavor Flav guy.
No, Dickie Barrett's the only vocalist, and depending on the song, he'll do the Cookie Monster growl or he'll sing. Every song has growls in it, but this has more of it in it.
Is that the beginning of the Cookie Monster voice? Because I don't remember anything before this.
No,
that's all. Who was doing that before then?
All the metal bands in the 80s and the 90s were doing that. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, it's just fucking Kevin Meaney and Cookie Monster singing this version. You already mentioned the phone call in the beginning. It's extremely different. The horns for guitars. But I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right. Well, that's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I think it's original. I think it's different.
Okay.
To me, this is what I want. I want Lemonheads doing Plaster Caster almost to a T. Then I want these guys throwing everything off the fucking kilt. I don't mind Dinosaur Jr. doing a fucking almost straight. I just wish they picked a better song, Going Blind. Like,
right.
Mix it up. So this works for me.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah, you got to get past that. Yeah.
Dude, how the fuck you sing like that? Your voice is killing me already. Yep. But anyways, I think it's fun. I think it's different, and I think they do a good job. So, last track
is Black Diamond, as done by Yoshiki, who is from the group X Japan. Now, originally Gene wanted Yoshiki to do I and turning into an orchestra thing, but Yoshiki said Black Diamond. Look, I like jazz. I like big band. I do like some orchestra music. I like this type of music. And I think this sounds literally unbelievable. This is an unbelievable interpretation. I know I keep saying that word a lot. I'm sorry, but it's a tribute album. And I think Black Diamond is a perfect song for it because Black Diamond is a powerful, emotional Kiss song. And symphony music is powerful and emotional. And I think this really, really translates well. It's way too long than it needs to be. But I think this is really, really amazing. And I love it. It was a huge surprise for me because I hadn't heard this in a really long time. And when I put it on, it kind of gave me goosebumps because of how amazing it is. So I'm anxious to see what you think because I know you love Black Diamond, but I think this version is really, really amazing.
I can tell you this. You know how I feel about instrumentals.
I know you do. I know you hate them.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of this. It's okay. It's orchestral music. It's not bad. I don't turn it off because it sucks. I just have no need for it. So what it reminds me of like the Eagles when they did Wasted Years. and they put the Wasted Years reprise.
The reprise, yeah.
And all of a sudden that classical music comes in, and it's beautiful, but I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And they did it on Desperado. There's a reprise of Doolin Dalton Desperado, and they do put that orchestral music. I get it. It's nice. It's okay. I just, Black Diamond. Imagine if a good rock band did this. How about, there you go, Alice in Chains doing Black Diamond.
Oh, my God.
And you start off with Jerry Cantrell doing the beginning part.
Doing the beginning.
And then fucking Lane does the
Lane
Peter
comes
part.
in. Yeah, that would have been insanity. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it would have been amazing.
AI, come up with
right.
Alice in Chains doing Black Diamond between those two. But it's okay. Going back, all right. Before we get into final thoughts, there is a 12th track on the German version, right?
Yeah, well, it's actually on the vinyl version that I have, and it's actually a bonus track on the streaming version. We're not going to incorporate that into our rankings and stuff. It's a German version of Unholy by a band called Die Arts or Die Arts. It's fucking horrendous. The whole song is sung in German. It's fucking ridiculous. That's all we'll say about that. There's absolutely no need for that thing to ever exist. And it's weird because it's the only non-makeup song. All these other songs are from the first 6 albums. So whatever. But yeah, we just wanted to mention that in case people thought that we kind of forgot about it, which we didn't. So
yeah. All right. Tom, final thoughts.
I like it. I was actually really surprised by how well some of it stood up because it's very of the time. A lot of these bands really aren't around anymore. You don't hear much from Gin Blossoms or Lemonheads or Lenny Kravitz or Toad the Wet Sprocket's out there. You have to kind of search for them, but they're out there doing kind of things on the side. Bosstones, same thing, Extreme. Like these bands really aren't in the forefront. But I like it. It's Kiss. And we say this all the time. You say this all the time, more specifically. I would rather have this than not have it.
Yeah. Because
it gives me a chance to enjoy classic Kiss songs in a way that I've never heard before by bands that I like. And, if I want to listen to it, I can. If I don't have to. But I do enjoy it. I was not miserable listening to this at all.
Yeah. So as much as I give you a hard time about this, I enjoy the album as well. It's just that there's some clunkers in here. But for the most part, I like that there's a mixture of, follow paint by numbers versions, way out in left field and, a little mix of between type of songs. So I think it's great that they got people from that era. It makes sense. And I'm glad it's here and it's there for people that if they want to listen to it, go ahead. It's there for you. So what we do next is we're going to rank these songs and go from 11 to 1. Tom, I'll start this one off this time.
Go for it.
Calling Dr. Love at number 11 is my favorite.
Oh, I'm laughing for a variety.
Not a fan of this version.
I'm laughing for a variety of reasons. Number 11 for me is Hard Luck Woman.
You took Garth Brooks at number 11 and you're mocking me for that fucking
just because it doesn't it doesn't do anything. It's a toothless cover version. There's nothing there.
Ugh. All right, number 10 for me is Black Diamond.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I know you don't like instruments.
By fucking Ichiro, whoever fucking did that.
Number 10 for me is Christine 16.
You really don't like the color by number versions.
No, I do not. And you'll see that as we move forward.
Number 9 for me, Strutter.
Okay.
Stream. Ugh.
Number 9 for me is Going Blind.
Yeah, no shit, dude. You're not kidding. Number 8 for me is Going Blind.
Okay. And number 8 for me is Strutter.
Number 7, Deuce.
Well, that's also my number 7.
All right. Number 6 for me, Christine.
Okay. Number 6 for me is Plaster Caster.
No.
I know.
5 for me is Hard Luck Woman.
Okay. 5 for me is She.
Really? So for me,
you're not going to like my list.
So for me, I got 4 is Plaster Caster. Okay. I have the 2 probably right down the middle, color by number, most versions. Plaster Caster and Hard Luck Woman, but Plaster Caster is the better song. That's why I put it ahead of Hard Luck Woman.
Number 4, Rock and Roll All Night.
Funny you say that. That's my number 3.
Yep. It was almost going to be higher. I went back and forth with these. Number 3 for me is Black Diamond. I love that version. I think it's beautiful. I love it.
All right. Number 2 for me is Cookie Monster, Detroit Rock City.
That's my number 2.
Number 1 for me is Anthrax version of She. I think they fucking kill it.
They did. Number 1 for me, this is a first, or if it hasn't happened in a while, my first is your last. Calling Dr. Love, Shandy's Addiction at number 1 for me.
That song is fucking horrible. That is horrible. They killed it. Oh, man.
I love it. I love it. Nice. All right. Yeah. The top 4 or 5 songs for me could have been interchangeable depending on my mood, because I think those are the handful of really good ones for me.
So we were talking about whether we should put this in on the compilations list, because on one hand, it's Kiss songs, but on the other, they're not done by Kiss.
Right.
But to me, I feel like it's in the Kiss catalog, so I think it should be considered. So let's add that into our compilations.
Okay. That's fair.
And so here's the albums that we've done. Killers, Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, Greatest Kiss, Very Best of Kiss, Millennium Collection Best of Kiss, Millennium Collection Best of Kiss Volume 2, Millennium Collection Best of Kiss Volume 3, and Kiss World.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tom, how did you rank the album compilation covers?
So for me, I have Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits at 8, Kiss World at 7, Millennium Collection Volume 2 at 6, Greatest Kiss at 5, Millennium Collection at 4, Very Best of Kiss at 3, Killers at 2, Millennium Collection Volume 3 at number 1. This cover is stupid, but it's not as stupid and terrible as Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, so that's going to remain at the bottom. I will put this at number 8, right below Kiss World, and keep Smashes and Thrashes and Hits at the bottom.
Okay. All right, Tom, for me, I have Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, Greatest Kiss, Millennium Collection 2, Millennium Collection 3, then Kiss World, then Very Best of Kiss, Millennium Collection, the original, and then the top one is Killers. Me, I'm putting this at 7, underneath Millennium Collection Volume 2 and above Greatest Kiss.
Okay. Yep.
So let's go to the actual compilations.
Okay.
Tom, want to list how you rank yours?
All right. Last at number 8 is Millennium Collection Volume 2, then Millennium Collection, then Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits, then Kiss World, then Very Best of Kiss, then Greatest Kiss, then Millennium Collection Volume 3, and Killers at number 1. I'm sorry, as much as I like this and as much as I love most of what's on this, it's not better than a Kiss album. This is going last. Yeah.
All right, Tom. I have Millennium Collection number 3 at 8, then Volume 2. Then I have Millennium Collection at 6, 5 Greatest, 4 Kiss World, 3 Very Best, 2 is Smashes, and 1 is Killers. Tom, I'm probably going to do the same thing. I'm putting this at 9. So,
yeah, I mean, a cover album is not going to be better than a Kiss album.
Yeah.
No.
Especially if considered greatest hits type of album, too.
Exactly. Right.
So,
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Tom, let's go to the next part, and that is Question of the Week.
That's right. And I mentioned him earlier. Rick Hickey sent us an email with a question, and we're going to get to that one here because it's kind of a good one. We don't have an answer for it. We're just going to give you our opinions on it here. But he says, here is my question for you. Why do you think that Ace and Peter don't work together to organize some sort of collaboration? Both men are obviously set in their peculiar ways, especially Ace, as Pete is semi-retired. It seems like they could be leaving a pile of cash on the table by not touring together. Even if it was just a spoken word tour. Oh, I'd pay money for that. Like an acoustic storyteller's night of Q&A in an intimate venue. Imagine how cool that would be. Low overhead, minimal production costs for them. Many fans would pony up the big bucks for an opportunity to see these two. Add to that different options for VIP meet and greet, and those dudes would be looking at a lucrative victory lap. I can't help but think it's down to poor representation, unimaginative agents, and a lack of genuinely caring handlers. Your thoughts? Zeus, start us.
As much as they like to work with each other to shit on Kiss, they both know each other's detriments. They don't want to work together. I think Ace, as much as he loves to use Peter when he needs him, doesn't have a high opinion of Peter musically. I don't know.
No,
I think he doesn't
with
respect him. I think thinks he doesn't need him, and he's useless to him. But he likes him when he wants to shit on Kiss. Peter, I think he probably tried to reach out to Ace, but he's probably at this point, if I'm going to do something, what do I need to split it with him for? I might as well just do something on my own. I'll do some, one-offs here and there, or I'll do a Comic-Con visit, put that money in my pocket. I don't want to perform anymore. And I think he's got a competent person by his side. Unlike Ace, no offense. His girl cares about him and takes care of him. And helps his career versus the other way around. So I just think they're not meant for each other. They're only good to each other when they get to shit on Paul and Gene. That's what they're there for.
Yeah, I think it's age, to be honest with you. I don't think either of them have the time in their lives right now to worry about this as much as I do agree with you. I think an Ace and Peter anything would be a huge thing for Kiss fans. And I just don't think that either one of them want to put up with it. I think especially Peter right now in the twilight of his career, in the twilight of his life, God love him, he doesn't want to deal with a burden like Ace and that friggin' pain in the ass of a friggin' sidekick that he's got. Now, I will say this, Rick. Ace Frehley doing a spoken word tour, I would buy front row tickets to that.
Because he'd go off script in about 2 seconds.
What do you think he'd say if he did an open, like a spoken word thing, Zeus? How would that start off?
I was driving in my DeLorean. Oh, shit, there was a Dunkin' Donuts at the corner. Did you ever get one of those crullers and they're not the same size anymore? I see donuts and they're about like half the size, just like the chicken at KFC. Last week I got a bucket. And I get chicken.
Hey, Ace, could you stay on the topic, Ace? Ace, hey, back over here. Jeez. That's what a spoken word tour with Ace would be like.
He'd be all over the place. I heard him on one of those videos go off on a tangent about like the size of the donuts at Dunkin' Donuts.
Rick, I think it's one of those things that we would like to see if it would work, but there's zero chance of it happening because there's zero chance of it working. Yeah. But Rick, great question. Always love your support and your contributions to the show. Thanks, brother.
Tom, where can people find us?
Always go to our website. Go to him.
Go to him.
We haven't got one of those in a while. Right. ShoutItOutLoudcast.com. It's where you can find all of our episodes. Shout It Out Loudcast, Dorm Damage, Album Review Crew, Zeppelin Chronicles, and so much more, including all of our rankings. You can find links to all of our social media, links to our merch, our Amazon shopping page, links to all of our incredible guests with some really cool candid photos of us recording with them. And those links will take you to their pages or their social media or their websites. And you can message us directly on the website, which is really cool. We'll receive those in the form of an email, or you can use our regular email, which is shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. And please, if you want your question of the week to be part of the show, send us along. Use our email. It's the best thing to do. We read a question every week, and then we gather them all and put them together for a mailbag at the end of the year. So please get those questions in. We want to hear from you guys. It's one of our favorite parts of the show each week. So please do that. And of course, very active on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and our Spotify playlists. Please check those out, and check those out under our profile, not our podcast. Search for Shout Out Loudcast and click on the profile page, not the podcast page. And you can see a bunch of Dome Damage playlists, including our brand new Pearl Jam one that we did, and all the Shout Out Loudcast one, which is a ton of fun stuff. And we always like to say we are a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network of shows.
Yeah, people can DM us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We are now on TikTok and Threads. Please subscribe to our YouTube. channel. We appreciate when you do that. And give us one of those 5-star child review on Apple Podcasts. That's a big help. We'll give you a shout out when we read your 5-star review on the show. And we appreciate that because it helps us move up the food chain.
Yep.
And as addition to that, Tom already mentioned the website, and you can go there and look at our rankings, our merch, our Patreon. And remember, we got the new Patreon perks. So make sure you come and join Patreon and become part of the Patreon family. And then keep looking out for more little information we're going to have on the Raise Your Glasses book, which will be coming out sooner than you think. And we're super excited about that. And we got all sorts of things coming up with that venture being launched. You'll see. And other than that, Tom, we usually end on famous last words. Do you have any?
Oh, I definitely do. And even though I'm full of sin, in the end, you'll let me in. You'll let me through. There's nothing you can do. You need my lovin', don't you? No, it's true.
Hell yeah.
Indeed.
Doing well for others.
Oh, God.
She doesn't really know. The powers are within her as she takes off her clothes. Dun, 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 dun. I like it. Tom, Kiss Army, Loudcasters, Toad the Wet Sprocket heads.
Guys, you're the best. Loudcasters, Patreon, Yoshiki Tards. Zeus, as always, my friend. Thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout. Hit the music. What I'd like now is for all you fat, out-of-shape, worldwide kiss-tards to keep the noise down while I show your ladies what a real sexy man looks like.
Listen, all you people out there sitting on rented furniture, settle down.
Cut the music. Anybody seen Richie? Anybody know why Richie did Bobby Lupo?